So eventually I quit that job because I was like, I got to get out of the sales world, which I'd been in since I was 22, 21, really. I had been in sales. And then I left it when I was like 28. I just on and off, just mortgages and then copiers. I've always been in sales. And then the only job, I saw guys like on a tour bus and they were just yelling at tourists on a bus that was going through Times Square. And I was like, well, that guy can't have a boss. There can't be any background check to do that job. These tour guides in New York, they were lunatics, these people, you know. One woman, I swear to God, would just go on and talk about a knee operation. And the people in there were trying to learn about the Empire State Building. She would say, she would hear it. She'd go, I've had 9 operations on the same foot. But people would tip her at the end. It was like, you know, she was an animal, but people felt bad for her. So they fill the tip cup up at the end. So I was like, oh, these people are also in their own way con artists, degenerates, marginalized figures from society. You know, some of them thought they were historians. Some of them, you know, they were all full of shit. You know, these guys, they barely knew anything. I was just like, I'll go up there and my whole goal was like, I'll make everybody laugh. So I would, you know, pass a building. I'd be like, what the fuck's going on in there? You know, I'm like, you know, I was like, you know.
What were you making doing that?
$15 an hour. 15 an hour, but checks, so that's bad. 40-hour work weeks, I never left with a check over $350. Okay? But cash tips every day of either no money when I was lazy and didn't want to give the tour, and a Russian woman punched me in the stomach once. Because we were sitting on the thing. It was first of all the Russians are poor. They come in January, February. They have no fucking money. They're poor. They come the coldest time of the year. And then you'd have to do a tour for one Russian couple. And the thing with Russians is they have beautiful blue eyes like huskies, but they have no souls. So when you see, because they have 100 years of atheism, so they have no soul. So there's not, you know, so when you look in their face, you see there's nothing there. So I just sat on the bus, and this Russian woman said to me, she goes, you give tour, you fat fuck. I said, listen to the automated tour. I said, I'm not doing it today. You're the only people on the bus. She goes, I pay money. You give tour. You give tour. And I said, no. Because I could put it on the automated when I was being lazy. And the automated would be like, and the automated was supposed to be hooked up with a GPS, but it was never where it should be. So we'd be by Central Park, and they'd be like, you are seeing the 9/11 memorial. And everybody would look out, like, where's 9/11? You know, they had no idea because the GPS. These companies don't care because these buses, there's no repeat business.
Right.
You just, you bang them. Bill Burr has a great thing where he talks about the guys who sell tickets to these buses. They're all Africans and Haitians, and they all have deep machete scars in their faces. They make $8 or $9 grand a month, and they send that all back to Africa. I think Burr, I haven't heard of it, but Burr, somebody told me that Burr either talks about it on a podcast or does a bit about it, but they're aggressive salesmen. They'll fight each other in the street, and then once the tickets are sold, it's over. You're not going to complain about this. What, are you going to go find the office and complain about what I said or did? Who gives a shit? So if I was feeling lazy, but if I was really killing it, I could walk off the bus with $200 in cash. If I was really killing it, like pizza here, cheesecake here, here's the best steaks, here's the great sandwich, here's the best blocks to walk. You want to see mansions? You know, I could kill it if I wanted to. And then a Russian woman, you know, she had it, so she got up, and her boyfriend, this was hilarious, her boyfriend, because I guess she hit him too. He wasn't even like present. It's the thing with certain Russian people. Like he just sat there frozen like he was dead. And she got up and she goes, you give tour, and just socked me in the stomach. Hard. You know, it's kind of demoralizing. So I had to pick up the fucking microphone now and be like, all right, this is the Dakota where John Lennon lived, you fucking cunt, you know? And then I gave the tour for the rest of the...
What a great job was you were doing stand-up.
Yeah, I was doing stand-up on a bus.
You're basically doing fucking
I'm doing stand-up comedy on a bus all day, saying whatever the hell I want, getting some complaints, but my boss didn't care because he doesn't give a shit.
How many tours a day?
2 to 3 tours a day. It was brutal. So in the heat, it was brutal because it's a metal bus and everybody gets up there and everybody's pouring sweat and people are, because New York's not a pleasant city to visit. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's the greatest city in the world, but it's not a relaxing vacation. So you're dealing with people that are like they're all stressed out because they got a Broadway show they got to get to. They get this, they get that. They want to see the Statue of Liberty. They want to go up in a helicopter. They want to do 9 things. All these fat people from Ohio, they want to see Central Park, but they don't want to walk through it. So they're like, what do we do? I can't walk through, So they won't go into the subway. They think everybody's going to stab you with an AIDS needle. I'm like, the subway is safer than up here right now, Go down there. It's safer than, And you deal with all those people, I would just make them laugh every day and then do spots at night. So that was the job. And then once I started getting a little bit going, I did the Montreal Comedy Festival 2016. I took the bus out. I sold tickets and did it for the New York Comedy Festival, and people bought tickets, and I just did like a crazy tour in New York and just basically said this was my fucking life. And then fans of like my podcast and shit got to sit on the bus and see what I used to do, and it was hilarious, because I would talk about like human trafficking and drugs and my roommates and everybody on Broadway. They go, it must be amazing to be on Broadway. I said, these people are all one broken ankle away from living on the street. Then you see a college, like a high school theater group would come and their faces would go down. I said, they don't make any money. I said, I know the woman in Phantom of the Opera. She drinks soup out of a cup and stares at the rain in the food emporium. I said, every day she wants to put a gun in her mouth. I said, so let me tell you. I said, and if she falls and sprains her ankle, she's going to be living in the street, and she's going to have to go to the suburbs and fuck her way into the middle class, and then she's going to have to work at your school, which I thought was funny. But one of the kids started crying. But I'm like, this is what it is. This is what life is, and that was like my tour, and that wasn't for everybody.